Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Reverend Dream. Coming to you in a different way today. Today we're up here at Tyson up in Russellville, Arkansas. We stopped by because we was on our way to pick up Luna some bones. And on our way here, we noticed this sign right here. Benefit for 4-year-old Stella. So we're going to stop in over here and we're going to support Stella. I don't know what Stella's condition is or her problems, but it's a 4-year-old child. So come on and take a ride with me. I'm going to turn you around and we're going to see what we can do for this. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
We're going to tell you the story of Stella. On the evening of January 15th, Stella started complaining of stomach ache. Gave her some Tylenol and she slept just fine. The next day, she continued to complain of stomach ache and started vomiting every so often. We thought, okay, this stomach bug is going around, so we tried to keep fluids down her. This continued a few days, but she started running fever. We also started to notice her face started looking puffy along with her body. Looked like she had put on some weight suddenly. The morning of January the 18th, we called the pediatrician, told him what was going on. They had us come in and she was checked for flu, covert, and RSV, all negative. He said it was something viral. He gave us Zofran for her stomach, and that was all. Next afternoon, we noticed her urine output and the color of it changed. All while she was complaining of a stomach ache. I again called the pediatrician office and had to leave a message with the nurse telling them what was going on. I received no call back. Told Mark we're going to Children's in the first thing. I didn't think something was viral. January the 20th, we head to the Children's the next morning. We go through the ER and they get us right in. All in the meantime, we're thinking, okay, it's probably a bad UTI. Get meds and go home. They try and wait for hours to get Stella to pee. Nothing for hours and hours. Then they decided to draw some blood. At the same time, she finally pees like a tablespoon for what looks like coffee. At that point, they seemed concerned and put a rush on blood work and tests and urine sample. They sent us to ultrasound. We got back to the ER room and the doctor came in and told us I didn't expect this, but her kidneys are not functioning.
Hello.
At this point, they come put 3 IVs in her and talk to us also, and they feel her appendix looks inflamed. We go through hours of more ultrasound, all while waiting to be admitted to PICU because she is such a critical condition. To get better picture of the appendix, we decided to go do an MRI, and she still had neck port catheter put in, and dialysis. It started at 3 a.m. They put her in a medically induced coma and have us to wait on her PICU. Sorry. Tests do start to come back, and UTI with E. coli, but they're waiting on more tests. Her blood count is low at this point, so she must have her first blood transfusion. She'll require another day later. They ruled out anything wrong with her appendix, and it was a retinal failure that we're dealing with at this point. They decided on January the 2nd to do a kidney biopsy while she was under to see the next the extent of the inflammation to her kidneys. Meanwhile, they're still confused by why this happened. We wait days for the biopsy results to be put. In the meantime, they all sedated her. Started her first dialysis treatment January the 23rd. Biopsy results come back a couple of days later and show 75% inflammation to her kidneys. In neuropolist words, it's bad. Finally, more blood work comes back, and apparently she had strep infection recently, but no symptoms. Is this what we think? Because this is, but what they're saying, they really don't know. This continues to have the dialysis every day, and she can go to a step-down room in the kidney unit. All the meantime, they have tried Lasix, still no urine output. They talked to us about sending her to Iowa, a generic retinal panel blood test, because she has elevated in the normal immune markers. They want to test to see if she carries a genetic gene or has a certain kidney disease. As it continues, they talk to us about going home, but she still has to go home with a permanent port in her chest. All this time we're battling PB and red blood counts. While we're finally discharged to go home on February the 1st, we have to travel a few weeks to get at least 4 times a week to children's dialysis. We must watch certain things in her diet, and she's a fluid restriction. Every morning we must do weight checks and blood pressure checks several times a day. We're also sent home with numerous blood pressure meds, steroids, Lasix, and blood binder, the vitamin D. At her 15th dialysis treatment, we discussed with the doctor more in depth about possible autoimmune disease. They want to try chemotherapy treatment called, now forgive me for all these words, Satox. There are numerous risks of side effects, and they want to do it as soon as possible. So the doctors wanted Mark and I to discuss and to look over the information and decide if we wanted to go ahead and do it. And we decided to do it. She was admitted the 15th for the first dose, and she was given chemo medication, 4 doses of medication to reduce her damage to her bladder. We're now over a month into this, and she has started to have some urine output. The doctors discussed us the other day if they could use a case study that they've never seen this happen and still don't know. They can't tell us if she would ever recover her total kidney function, maybe 50%. But if her labs stay stable in her weight, then once she reaches 30% of kidney function, she could come off her dialysis. But they still say, even 50%, that we have to realize that the older she gets with age, that will decrease. So meanwhile, we're still waiting for the genetic test to come back, and even if she comes off of dialysis, won't mean any. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for the generic test to come back, and if she comes off dialysis, it won't mean she's recovered. We're still facing numerous doctor visits at Children's for lab draws, blood pressure checks, weight checks for a long time in the future. Stella's story, the onset of whatever happened, came on fast, and we want to be able to spread awareness through Stella's story for other patients and parents. Something as simple as asthmatic infections can cause retinal failure, heart failure, and many other long-term complications. Now, if you want to give to Stella and this cause, you can do it by 2 ways. You can come out here and support what they've got and their food, which is numerous. Here's the food. Or you can contribute by scanning this. And this is Stella's story.
Did Mark cook any of this?
He helps.
Well,
He helps. No, it's all good.
okay, we just out, because, seeing people.
So if you want to support Stella, please come out today and help these wonderful people, help their child. And these things, we thank you. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful Saturday and love someone, hug someone, because tomorrow's never promised. God bless.